Hi everybody, I've got a wee YouTube video today. I've been out and I've cut some wood. What I want to do is I want to make myself a bow drill set, you know, for friction fires and stuff. So I've been out and cut some wood. There's a couple of big lumps of ash there, and I've heard recently that willows are good for a hearthboard, and that willow and willow will work. So I've cut these chunks of willow. I've got a branch with just a slight bend in it for my bow, and I'll be making this quite long. You know, you can see that there, it's a good 3.5 feet or something. Maybe cut it down a little bit, but a nice long bow will make less strokes to get your ember, you know, so it'll save you a bit of effort. One of the problems I've been doing in the past is making these far too short. You know, at least the length of your arm seems to work, and just this, it doesn't have to be straight, it has to be just a slight bend is plenty. I'm not going to make my bow drill kit today, I'm just going to show you the materials I've gathered. So I've got length of willow, a slight bend for the bow itself, chunk of willow 2 and a bit inches wide, and a good long length, so you'll get plenty of usage out of it, you know, more fires and stuff. And then this piece here, which I'm going to shave down like this to make the spindle. So you've got the spindle here, or this will be the spindle. You'll have the willow hearthboard here and the willow bow there. So I've been out and kind of collected that already and split it, and what I discovered was, I'm using this knife here I got recently, and it's supposed to be William Rogers Sheffield I Cut My Way, and I know a wee bit about these knives, they're quite obscure. For what I've learned, there was never one made in that pattern. You know, it's a kind of woodlore clone shape, so I was a bit disappointed as it doesn't seem to be legitimate. It's either a complete fake or it's a larger knife that's been ground down into this shape, but regardless, the steel seems good quality, so I wanted to get a bit of testing. It was originally for a collection, but because I'm not sure if it's authentic or not, I'm just going to keep it for using as an actual knife. If you look, the spine's quite thick, it's about 4mm, it might even be 5mm, you know. It's double the thickness of a Mora knife, and I've had problems with Mora, with Batonning. For instance, see this piece here, you know, it's about 3 inches wide, and you could put a Mora through that, like across this way, short end, but if you tried turning it and putting the Mora through this broad end, it would just stick after about a third of the way, and it would just jam, and no amount of beating in the world gets it through it after that. It's a lot of work, a lot of calories for a minimum payoff, you know. When I split this willow with this knife earlier, it was fantastic, but it worked really well. So the one downside of my Mora is Batonning's. It's doable, it'll get you a fire to save you if you're in a real life or death situation, but it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and you want to make life easy, so it's fun. So I'm going to try battoning these lumps here using this knife as well. I want to split one of these for a hearthboard, so I will have a willow hearth and an ash hearthboard, and what I have here is a ash spindle and a willow spindle, and I've heard that the ash and willow are a good combination, and willow will work. So what I'm wanting to do is just trial that theory out, you know, and find out if that's true. The general theory of fireboards is either the hearth has to be a softer wood than the spindle, or the spindle has to be a softer wood than the hearth. One wood has to be slightly harder than the other. Medium hardwoods combined with softwoods seem to work better. If woods are too hard, they might not be able to create an ember, because it might not be abrasive enough, it might not be wearing the material away to create the ember. And this one in the middle, it's a, what's this? Yucca stock. It's a yucca stock, and this old bit of what I think's cedar, an old cedar, has been sent for my mate Francis Kirk for the estates. He also sent me a great wee knife, which I'm sure I'll show you when I'm doing my bow drill video. And that's an antler bearing block, and it's just for putting pressure down on the spindle. So the spindle goes on in the board into the socket in the hearth board, and then on top of the spindle goes the bearing block, and with your bow in there you get your friction, you get your turn, and then you get your ember. So what you need for your bow drill is bearing block, spindle and hearth board, and obviously your bow, which will have a piece of string on there, whether it's natural cordage or whether it's paracord, is irrelevant, just whatever you've got. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set myself up down here, just with that wee plank there for battening on, and we'll see how we get on with this knife here, because I want to test its durability, because I'm not sure if the temper's been ruined by it being ground down for a larger blade blank or whatever. So I think if it takes up some battening, bit of feather sticking, then I should be quite happy with it. And what I'll do at the end is I'll inspect the blade for any damage, etc. Right, okay, give me a minute and I'll set up a camera so I can get on with this. Okay, thanks. Right guys, I'm just going to try and batten these thin pieces first, and then we'll do the bigger pieces up there. Find the thickest vein to start from, find the centre, line it up. Aim at the centre, try and keep my knife as parallel and straight as possible. Started. Make sure you're not twisting the blade. Some downward pressure with this hand. All the hitting should be on this end, staying away from the handle of the knife. So the wider blade, it's creating a wedge. It's actually separating this stuff very easily. And got a slightly pointed edge. Flat end, I find that battening for the flat end is always easier, but this pointed end will make it unstable, so I would stick it in the grass and then batten on the flat end, but in this situation, stick the flat end on the board. That's went through the aim, no problem. So we'll try some of the more substantial bits. that's separating that beyond the travel of the blade, and that's because of the wider spine. And there we go, we've got the potential for an ash hardboard there. What I would do is take a knife, flatten off the back side so that when it sits on the ground you've actually got a kind of stable base. But I'll put one of these aside just now to be used as a hardboard for our video when we're making the bow drill set, so that I will have a wallow board and an ash board and we can experiment with the different spindles. I'll test it again, but try to split this longer piece and see if I can get all the way through this just as easy. Back across, so you can something hit on this side, because I'm finding it's sliding out on this side next to slide it through again. It's starting to get difficult. It might be a bit more of a challenge than I expected. Hopefully it's sticking a little, so this might well be it. I can feel that the tension's away now. There you go. So I don't know if you can see, but there's tiny wee chips in the blade, but they were there before I started, and there doesn't seem to be any new chips, so I don't think it's weak in any sense. Getting through the leaf or what? See him again. See if I can use this to get back through this here, since I'm here anyway. It's a bit light, so yeah, a bit more there. that's processed that quite well. I'm going to have a wee go at feather sticking one or two of these and see what that looks like. So what I'll do is I'm just going to move the camera again, get set up, and then we'll try a bit of feather sticking. Right, thanks guys. Hey guys, let's try a bit of feather sticking now. And I've seen some tips recently which are really good. Normally I try feather sticking with the bits that you seen just a minute ago, the bits that I done first, straight through. You know, split one of them in half and feather stick it up. And normally it's the length of your forearm, maybe not even that, you know. So what I'm discovering recently is longer pieces, it makes more sense. You've got a longer, you can actually get a proper long stroke, and therefore trying to get the curl. So you've got the actual nest type appearance. So what I'm going to do is it's a flat side, and then there's like a corner. You know, I'm going to start with the corner, so the first few strips will be thin and flimsy. This spine will be nice and strong, so so if you've got this nice long piece, you get a good grip or something, stick it down somewhere that doesn't want to move, and then what you want to do is put the knife flush to the stick and then just lift it out, start off, I don't know, maybe 30 degrees if that, and try and get one long cut. Same again, you'll lose the odd bit, and what I'm using, I'm starting the stroke here and then moving along as I go down, so that by the time you get part of the way down, you've got your thumb on the spine of the blade, get a wee bit of control, and you want to try and get a thin piece, not too thin or else that happens. And if you lose the odd bit, don't worry about it. Turn it to the left a wee bit, put down one side, really stiff stuff, back on the front a wee bit, then the other side. Not a great success, guys. Too sure exactly what's going on here, but the knife just doesn't seem to be. It seems to be cutting me part of the blade. I don't know if the wee chips or what's getting in the way. It seems to want to cut halfway and then just stop. It's not great. there you go, you need to work your thumb in. It seems to be really hard here, isn't it? Ideal. Solid here, pretty soft there, and what's happening is following through, getting caught up in the hard stuff, putting the pressure in, and then shooting through and trimming off this stuff that's at the softer bit. It's a bit of a feather stick. We've also got, you think everything, got wee bits of tinder there, got a fairly sticky part there, even turn it, give you a mini bit of feather sticking on the back maybe, nah, maybe not, nah. Okay, fair enough. So you've got a fairly sticky bit, you can easily snap that off. Fairly stick there, some tinder, and get your baton, get this. And also you've got some kindling out of this piece, some tinder out of any bits that you happen to trim off, and you're left with something that resembles a feather stick at least. And I'm pretty sure another one of these, you have 2 sticks, 2 wee bits of kindling, and 1 smear of tinder, that will start your fire. You know, it's plenty to get you going. Handful of dry stuff or a wee cotton ball in there, job done. So, I hope it was worth watching the video. Knife doesn't seem too terrible. The chips seem to have almost evened themselves a bit. So, what I'm going to do is tidy this up. Might even mess a wee bit of feather stick a couple there. I'll put the half boards I've made to the side, the spindles and stuff, and once they've dried a wee bit I'll do a video on making the bow drill set. Really wet this time of year, you're not going to go out and cut a bow drill set and get an ember straight off the bat. It'd have to be dried in some fashion. Maybe you found yourself, you're lost, you've got your fire kit, maybe enough for a couple of days worth of fire. The first thing you'd want to do is make your bow drill set immediately, not once you run out of tinder and fire lighting materials, so that you can use your fire kit to light a decent fire, to dry the bow drill wood, to then make the kit so that you can get an ember for already dry wood, because trying to get the ember for something that's green and straight off the tree isn't ideal. I've never managed to get an ember for a green cut bow drill set. I know it can be done because I've seen people doing it, but it's people with a lot more experience than myself. So I always dry your kit out. There'll be a lot of people out there. When I first tried it, I was making a kit every couple of weeks and trying it again and again and again, and couldn't get an effort for a lot more money. Probably looking back, because the wood still had a lot of moisture in it already. A lot of the kits that I think failed might well have worked if they'd been given time to dry out. So I hope this makes sense to you. I hope you've seen something even a wee bit interesting, and I also hope that I'll be able to make a good more drill video for you sometime soon. On top of that, big shout out to In the Wilds, because right now I'm using the wee Gorilla Pod camera tripod that you sent me, so thanks very much for that, mate. It's coming in handy, and I really hope I can put it to use and get more videos now. So that's me for the day. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you sometime soon. Cheers.